everyone, I welcome you once again to tonight's episode. Tonight we are going to look at how to design this simple but professional wedding invitation card. So come with me as we sign in. So the first thing you will need is your tool, which is the pixel lab. You pick your shape tool, then you spread it on the canvas. After that, you lock it. The next thing, you click your import, go to your gallery, pick your resource, and also stretch it to its maximum. Let it at least fit or fill to that radius or to that length. Okay, then the next thing you need to do is to pick this particular shape tool, reduce the size to this end, then you make it in an oval form. Are you following? When you position it to that end also, then you lock it. The next thing you will need to do is to pick what? Your test tool. When you pick your test tool, then you do what? You put in your test. Okay, I always say you can make use of the size tool to help you to adjust the size. Okay, so the next thing that we just did is to change the color for the test, and we make a copy of it, position it downward again. Then we do what? We also edit it. Yesterday I was saying the faster way to do this, instead of picking the test tool twice, when you are done picking it once, you can just duplicate it, then you edit the next one, then you paste. That is exactly what we are doing. This design, as usual, is done again by Graphix Hub. Trust me, one of my students who is so much dedicated to the graphic design course, and trust me, every blessed day he has been coming perfect in the field, and I'm very proud of him. So I will also be proud of you as you keep watching the videos. So the next thing that we are doing is selecting the test, bolding it. As we bold it, then we need to go and take the color. We need to go take the color, then we work with the color also. Reduce the size. As you reduce the size, you will make use of the lock button. Okay, as usual, you see we select the text again, then we clean the new text, then we put in our humble request there. Okay, and after putting that in, as usual, you hit done. Then you also do with the alignment. We all know that the principle of graphic design, one of it is alignment. We also have enhancement also, and we also have balance. We have numerous of them. Okay, what it simply means is that the element of graphic design, how you position or you effectively arrange them on your canvas, that is what we deduce as the principles. Okay, so it's like a guiding force guiding you to properly use the element of graphic design. Are you following? So now the next thing that we are doing is picking a test again. What we are doing today and yesterday's own is similar, because today we are going to deal with more tests. Okay, but you can see that we are playing with the font size and with the colors. That is exactly what we are doing. So you can see we make a copy again of the marriage, then we do edit it and put that very one there, which is the ceremony. Are you getting it? You understand? When you separate them, it is easy for you to edit them individually. But when you try putting all of them there, what of if you want to bolden one and make one to be regular? How then do you achieve that? So the smartest way to achieve that is just make them individual. Then you can now go ahead and pick the various fonts that you need for them. Are you getting the point now? So you can see that is what we are just doing. We are locking them up so that we will not interact when we try to proceed with the designing. We will not interrupt with them. If you are wondering where we get the pictures from, go to your browser, hit www.pininterest.com or pinterest.com. You have a lot of resources there that you will need for your design. Even not a lot, all of the resources that you will need. Trust me, it all depends on how you are able to utilize the search engine to your advantage. You understand? Okay, so let's proceed. We are still dealing with the test. Are you following that? We are still dealing with the test. Then pick another test tool again, position it here. Okay, and we try to put what? The name. So if a client reach out to you and a client reach out to you that he or she need a wedding invitation, this is what you can just duplicate. So I said to all my students that when you are designing, make sure you save your work as a project, so that whenever there's a need for you to make an edit or for you to do a correction, you can easily do that. You will not need to start from the beginning again, but you can just go on and do your correction, then you save as a picture again. I hope it is now clear. So now if you follow careful, that is what we are just doing. We are doing what? Putting the text, but giving it a different font style. Are you getting the point now? So that is what we are doing, picking the date now. Same with the text again. So you can see in this particular design that we are doing, typography is the major element being used in this particular design, or in this particular what project. Are you following? Are you sure you follow up to this end? I always say, since you are watching it online, if you are being confused with the steps, just take your time and play that particular portion again till you get an understanding before you proceed. And I always also say that in graphic design, frustration is our friend, being that we use them as a stepping stone to muscle or build our muscles in graphic design. So whenever you are frustrated, trust me, it is all part of the game. Just save your work as a project, put the phone down, go and walk about, have a chat with a friend, refresh your mind, then you come back with a renewal energy, then you continue your editing. Okay, so they are all part. So now if you pay notice or you give attention to what you are doing, you can see we are still doing the test again. So now we are dealing with the venue. Okay, so that is a venue that we are doing. So when you are done, you hit done, you position it well, you reduce the size also by what? Making use of the size tool. Then you can see that. If you are not seeing it, you can choose to change the color first before you work with the sizing. Okay, but nevertheless, whichever way, you will arrive at the same junction. Now you can see we just did the alignment, and I was explaining yesterday that when we talk about the alignment of a text, you either start from the very right beginning, or you start from the left end beginning, or you position all the text in middle. Are you getting? Whichever design you are doing depend on the one that you prefer to choose. So now you are doing the last but not the least thing. Okay, also changing the color. So you can see that the color combination we are doing here is actually not how will I put it, it's actually welcoming to the eye. You understand? Okay, so you can see there is a correlation between the colors. Okay, so if you are new here, you have to watch the video that I taught on color. We have a primary color, secondary color. Actually, colors come from the primary colors. That is where the individual mixtures come in, then other colors are being decoded. You understand? So you need to pay attention to that before you start even the editing. Learn the basics in graphic design. I also have a video on that channel, and if today is your first time coming across this channel, you don't want to miss the preceding videos that will be putting on the channel. So you do well, you subscribe to the channel, then we become one big family. Comment where you are watching from. Right away to give you a reply to all your comments. So you can see we are trying to put a test. So this is simple but professional design that we are making, which is a wedding invitation. You understand? So the last thing, or last but not the least, that resource that we need to pick is this very one. Okay, and we try to position it to that top right corner. Okay, so we should have that flavor. Are you with me? So that is it. Try to also adjust the text, also enable and give it a stroke and also a color. Are you following? So we are working just down with the ceremony also. How are you getting it? So that's it. So you can decide to bring back the name and also work on it again a little. You try to play with a style, make it bold, then I think it is far more better than the first one. And we try to also give it a stroke, but no, this is off, so we try to play with the colors and see the one that is welcoming to the eye or the one that is matching our design. Then we can stick to that. So as I said, if today is your first time, consider subscribing. Credit to JK Graphics Hub. Thank you.